Hello everybody and welcome to part 2 of my end of year review of 2021 in the rock and metal world. This is just continuing on the other 24 of the 48 new 2021 releases that I have acquired, and so we'll just get straight on with it before my voice runs out completely. We ended that last video with Emerald Rage, and they were on Stormspell, and staying on the Stormspell label is this band here, Krillone, or Krillone, I don't know. It looks like Krillone to me anyway. Stormspell Records, this is another of the EPs. We have 5 tracks here altogether, and excellent stuff again. This is Stories of Times Forgotten, it's called. It's a Swedish band, and again I describe them as a mixture of new wave of traditional heavy metal and power metal. It doesn't say in here on this one. Stormspell sometimes do that, but not on this one. Yeah, a mixture of kind of power metal, traditional metal, a little bit of epicness again. Again, due to the themes of what they, what they sing and write about. There was a date of this being released in May I found on the internet somewhere, but I also found, according to Stormspell Records themselves, it was actually released on the 6th of July. But yeah, another excellent new find, Krillone from Sweden, followed by... This was released on the 16th of July, and it's just landed in my collection again, thanks to Jim Davies. It's a band called Big City, and these guys are apparently, I know nothing about them, except they're from Norway. They are classed as melodic hard rock and melodic metal. I have quickly through on to get a bit of an idea earlier today actually, but I've only listened to about 5 tracks, and it is definitely the melodic kind of metal. It's a Frontiers release, so that's kind of the main kind of focus of what their bands put out, but they do have heavier stuff as well. But yeah, I thought the singer's voice in this band reminded me of the current singer, the guy who's in the Canadian band Striker. I thought the guy in here sounded a little bit like that, just in the way his voice sounded. But yeah, it sounds pretty good stuff so far. As I say, I've only listened to half of the album, and very briefly at that today. So, Big City, melodic hard rock, melodic metal. Then... the 16th of July was another one of the big hitters for me that dropped. Powerwolf's new release, Call Over the Wild. Love the artwork for a start. Love the album. I just love this band. They're just really enjoyable. They have their own kind of... They're kind of, they're power metal, obviously. That's what they're classed as. Modern heavy metal / power metal, and I tend to think that the use of the organ, and they don't overuse it, thankfully, because that would turn me off if they did, but the use of the organ gives their music a bit of a operatic and atmospheric sound all of their own, plus the vocals, the voice of the singer, and I forget his name. I really should know his name by now, you would think, off the top of my head, but I don't. There's just so much music to try and consume these days. But yes, this is another great album, and pretty much the whole thing is enjoyable. just melodic, hook laden, just really good, high quality German metal. Absolute classic from Powerwolf. So yeah, that was that one. And later on, at the end of July, was this one that dropped. This band is called Black Sword, and the album is called Alive Again. It's quite tricky to sort of make that out. Black Sword and Alive Again, and this is on No Remorse Records, released at the end of July. And these again are they're from Russia. This band, they hail from Russia apparently. And what have I noted down? They are again new wave of traditional heavy metal, but they're slightly different in that they also have a bit of what I would describe as US power metal, more that side than the European sounding, a bit more melancholy here and there in their music, or a bit more, maybe not melancholy, maybe just a little bit, I don't know, a touch darker or more serious vibe going on. Something on the lines of maybe Iced Earth in a way. I thought hints of that about them. But yeah, really, again, another really good find. No Remorse Records seem to sign a lot of decent, good quality new bands as well. So that is Black Sword from Russia, Alive Again. Definitely recommended. And we come to another EP, and this one is a band out of Australia, another new band called Fate's Hand, and again it's a bit dark, and sorry about the reflective glare. I don't know, there is a bit of detail, so I'll maybe just take it right out to just maybe see if that helps. But that is the album cover, sorry, the cover of the EP. So yeah, these guys are from Australia, can't remember where in Australia exactly. It's on Dying Victims Productions, 4-track EP, and again it's just traditional heavy metal. If I put any specifics down about these guys, just modern traditional metal, and trying to do in the true heavy metal style of old, but obviously modern sounding. Really good stuff. Again, definitely check them out. I'll put that away there. But yeah, that's another good band out of Australia coming up. Next up, another release from Napalm Records, and it's the Austrian metal War Kings. Yeah, War Kings, and this is the third album in what is like a trilogy of albums by these guys as well, and this is Revolution. Just really good modern power metal again. Where are we? Yeah, they're pretty much, I would say, mostly, excuse me, power metal coming for this band. Just that fist pumping, classic modern sound. Classic modern, yeah, I'm making complete sense here, aren't I? Yeah, as if I but yeah, good stuff. Having said that, if I'm going to be really honest, I preferred the previous album to this one. This was a slight disappointment for me, but just a little bit. It's still a good album, but I think I was expecting it to be better, maybe, or the same as the previous one, but I just think the previous one's just a touch above for my own personal opinion. And then after that we have another CD, this band here, Crimson Fire. I discovered these guys a couple of years ago, and I have their previous release. Again, new wave of traditional kind of heavy metal they were. This one is a little bit more melodic hard rock sounding, a little bit more refined I would say on this album, more polished, maybe better production, better mixing perhaps. They are now signed to No Remorse Records. I can't remember if the previous one was on that or not. But another band out of Greece. Greece have got a few quality bands coming out as well. So this is Another Dimension, and this one dropped in August along with War Kings. And now I've just described them as a mix of new wave traditional and melodic hard rock. Really good band. Again, definitely worth checking out. Good quality stuff. And that is followed by Eldvarg. Discovered thanks to Kevin over at War Gods channel. He had this and kind of recommended it. It might be something I would be interested in, and right enough I went and investigated, and yes, it's great stuff. It's a one-man project. The album is titled One Man Army, and again it's kind of just epic / traditional heavy metal. Very well done. It's limited edition of 100 CDs, so hurry up if you are interested, because I'm not sure how many are left. So this dropped on the 27th of August, and he's from Scotland, the UK. Ollie Noakes, I think, is the boy's name, and excellent stuff. Really good quality output for his first offering, and hopefully more will come from Eldvarg. And is this... no, this is the second last of the EPs I'm going to be showing here. And I can tell you right off the top by a country mile, this... wait till I get my records, they're kind of falling slightly, bear with me. Just, they're falling the wrong way. This is my favourite EP out of all the EPs. Even though all the EPs I've got are high quality, as far as I'm concerned, but this one, absolutely fantastic. It's Dirk Schneider and the Old Gang, none other than Udo Dirk Schneider and some of his former fellow bandmates from years gone by, plus a female who featured on his We Are One album with the German orchestra. She was involved in that project as well. She's on here. So this is a 3-track EP, and each track is absolutely fantastic. It's classic Udo style, classic metal, just a little bit of a more melodic twist, and the female does vocals on a couple of the tracks as well. She kind of shares the vocals, if you like, with Udo, and it's just a really good set of tracks. The 3 of them work really well, fantastic output, and I really hope there's an album coming for these guys, this group of people. If this is anything to go by, I will be out there pre-ordering it the minute I hear about it. So yeah, you need to check this out, people. Dirk Schneider and the Old Gang, Arise. And that brings us into September. Yeah, because that Dirk Schneider dropped on the 27th of August. And then that brings us into September, where another big hitter dropped. Interesting stuff from Iron Maiden, that's for sure. Yeah, I have I got the record as well. I've got the vinyl and the CD. Really good album. I am still grappling with absorbing it all. I do find it a bit long, which I don't know if that's the main thing, but I think I just need more time. And what is encouraging for me is that I have heard from another couple of people in the community who have said, like me, they were struggling with it, they weren't sure about it, they didn't think they'd like it, but it's just finally clicked with them a lot more, and it's growing on them more and more, and they're really enjoying it. Now I'm hoping that's what's going to happen with me. There is a few tracks on here that I do like already, that are really good. Hell on Earth, that's the last track. That was my favourite. And I think, I'm not really sure, I've still got a lot of digesting to do, but I think the second disc, as far as the CDs goes, is my favourite half, if you like. But I don't know. As I say, I do like it. It's definitely not the classic Maiden of old, obviously, we all know that. But Maiden, like Helloween, like other bands, they evolve, things change, technology changes, and you know, your sound changes basically as you evolve. And I think it's just, you know, I know Cloudy says a lot that since the year 2000, Maiden have kind of been on this kind of road, if you like. This is more their sound, and it's probably true. But I found Matter of Life and Death and Dance of Death. What's the other one I like from this side of things? These are two anyway that I really found quite easy to get into. I'm trying to see where it's too far away for me to read them from here. Even The Final Frontier, a lot of people don't like that. I don't mind some of the songs on that album. One or two of them are quite good. I don't know, I'm just, and I know it's better than the Book of Souls, but yeah. So it's going to grow on me. I'm going to keep listening, and you know, it's a very well written piece, and it's just, well, it's Iron Maiden, so you know, I love them. So that was that one. So we'll move on from there, and then after Iron Maiden, I'll put that down there or it'll confuse me, came Blazing Stone. This is Cedric Forsberg's project, band project, the Running Wild clone, if you like, almost. Very much pirate metal, very much pirates themed metal. You know, all the albums are about kind of the pirate kind of lifestyle, I guess. So this is the latest offering, and it's Damnation, dropped in September, and it's on Stormspell. I am hoping there'll be a vinyl issue of this coming out. As of yet, I've not heard, but he did hint there may be one coming in the future. But fantastic stuff. Super classic speed metal, power metal, pirate metal, modern, fresh sound, upbeat, energetic, brilliant album. Blazing Stone from Sweden, and I decided to grab this one, which also was released in September, and it's the first time I've ever had any Doro in my collection, and this is Doro and Warlock's Triumph and Agony Live. This was released for the 35th anniversary, I believe, of the Warlock album Triumph and Agony back in the early 80s. So this is obviously live stuff. and I assume, I don't have the original album, but I assume this has a lot of tracks, if not all, from Triumph and Agony. Really good stuff. Doro is very much the classic, true sounding heavy metal of back in the day. Really good stuff. Sounds like a great live album. So I'm very pleased to have that. And we're on 34 here. I need some water. And I think this is the last of the EPs coming up, which happens to be from Ronnie Atkins again, frontman of Pretty Maids. 4 More Shots. So this is an EP that he released with track 1. I think it was, yeah, track 1, which was Carry Me Over, which was the first song he said he wrote after getting his diagnosis for cancer, but he thought it was kind of too melancholy to maybe stick on the album that he was releasing. Didn't want to kind of make the fans too miserable kind of thing, but he still thinks it's a really good melody in the song, and it's a good song. Yep, really nice song. And you have 3 acoustic versions of tracks from the album, and you have an orchestral version of the title track One Shot from the album, which was originally only available on the Japanese release. So that is your EP of 4 More Shots from Ronnie Atkins, and it's really good stuff. So I was pleased to have it. He's got a really good voice, very strong voice, for a guy who's been around. You're talking 40 years, I guess, and he's still got a good, strong sounding voice. Much better than some others I could mention, but won't. Moving on. Then, so we're now into October, and this one dropped, although it took a while to get to me, but I was told somebody was getting this for me, Darcy, and I'm so delighted to finally have this. It's fantastic. It's what everybody said it would be. A killer album, basically. Sermons of the Sinner. So, KK Downing's first album with his new band, featuring Tim Ripper Owens, obviously, and a plethora of high quality musicians here, and it's just modern heavy metal sounding, like kind of Judas Priesty, except it's KK's Priest. Just really good metal tracks, just what you'd expect. Highly enjoyable stuff again. It's absolutely, definitely one to have in the collection. Don't hesitate, people. Highly recommended. And next up is a band I, again, know absolutely nothing about. Jim Davies sent this as VCLT again. Thanks, Jim. And it's a band called Houston, and apparently they're from Sweden, not in Houston, United States. So the album is called 4, because I believe it's their 4th album. And these guys are classed as AOR or melodic hard rock, but yeah, they have been tagged as AOR. Now again, I can't comment because I have not had time to put this one in the CD player yet, so I've not heard any of it, but I am still eager to listen to see what they're like, and that's what to expect, something on the melodic rock / AOR style. And released on the same day was one I had pre-ordered, and it's from Sweden again, Sweden's Eclipse, and their latest album, Wired. Again, Eric Martinson, what a fantastic frontman he is. His vocals are amazing, his energy is amazing, he produces, he masters, he mixes, he's a very busy man actually, and this is an absolute piece of brilliance. It's just another high energy, high quality, happy sounding, feel good melodic metal. Melodic hard rock, melodic metal. Really high quality stuff. Just stuff to bounce, get yourself bouncing about. Yeah. I believe the CD version of this, the tracks are in a different order, but the album opens with Saturday Night Hallelujah, and it's a great track. It's just a Saturday night party song, really. It's fantastic. But yeah, lots of... there's not a dull track on here, actually. It's just fantastic. Highly recommended. And we're on to the other side now. We are getting there, guys. Next up... The Grandmaster, another Frontiers project. This one caught my interest particularly because it has the guitar player from Edguy in it. I forget his name off the top of my head, but you'll know who I'm talking about probably. It's the German guitars from Edguy and a Brazilian frontman who's also been in some other band projects. And so for them to come together and created this, again, it's another melodic hard rock, melodic metal infusion, fantastic pieces of guitar, great solos in here as well. So yeah, highly recommended. Again, really good stuff, good quality in here. A little bit more heavier than some of the melodic stuff, but you know, it's not super heavy, but it's just a nice blend. And that is the Grandmaster and Skywards. Good stuff. Followed by another piece of excellence, brought to my attention initially by Brendan Von Doom, another Australian band, Wicked Smile. Yeah, this one dropped on the 15th of October in the UK. This was released, and it's their debut full-length, Wait for the Night by Wicked Smile. Full length, 10 tracks, and it's absolutely tremendous. It's very much traditional sounding melodic metal, melodic hard rock metal, kind of done with 80s inspired vibe about it. I think they wanted to kind of try and capture the essence of the 80s, which I think they've done a really good job of in here. Every track's quality. There's a couple of crackers in here. There's a really nice emotional ballad on it. It's just very high quality, and I hope these guys bring us some more of this stuff in the future. But it's been getting spun a lot as well, and if you are a big fan of the 80s, you know, the feel-good hard rock melodic guitar stuff, then you need to check this out as well. It's high quality indeed, and that is Wicked Smile, Wait for the Night. Another one that dropped as well in October. I did have the vinyl on pre-order, but that's still not due out until this year, so I got the CD to tide me over. UDO and Game Over. So this will be the third release of this year from involving Udo Dirkschneider. After the Pandemic Survival Show and the EP Dirkschneider and the Old Gang, we now have UDO's new studio album. So obviously, again, with the bands just having a lot of downtime, they've had plenty of time to write music. 16 tracks, which is a lot for a record, to be honest with you. However, I find that the time passes quite quickly with this. As I said in my video when I was doing the update that had this in it, the tracks are mostly 4 minutes, 3 minutes, a couple and 5 minutes. So there's nothing epically long like Iron Maiden, for example. For all these 16 tracks to be on here, it is a good 10 to 15 minutes shorter than Iron Maiden's. That's that's just, an observation, I guess. But as I say, I find that this goes in quite quick. It doesn't feel like a long album to me. And I really like this. I enjoy it. It's classic UDO kind of style. Obviously, it's the modern sound. And I just find that most, if not all the tracks, there is a couple that are a little bit weaker, but I would say about 90 to 95% of this album is really enjoyable for me. So yeah, I'm pleased that I have this and looking forward to getting the vinyl when it finally comes out the pressing plant. So that is another UDO. Followed by another piece of class that I just accidentally came across on YouTube. The video for one of the singles of this came up and I was blown away. Absolutely blown away. Knew nothing about the band up to that point, and then when I did learn that they were releasing an album, I was keeping very close tabs on it because I was ordering this the minute I could. And it is another band from Sweden, Nestor, and their debut album, Kids in a Ghost Town. Absolutely tremendous. If you want to go back to the future or go back to 1985, this is just about taking you there. Just about. It is so a bit like Wicked Smile, but I think these guys just go that one step further. They just capture the essence of the 80s. And no better than the track 1989. That's my favourite song off of this, but the whole album is absolute class. It is. It takes you back, it makes you think of those times, the classic, the good old days of the 80s. Now, the band Nestor apparently formed originally in 1989, but never actually managed to get an album recorded or released professionally. And here they are 30 years later, finally getting a debut out, and it's taken the world by storm, I think, in the rock and metal community. People are loving it. So if you've got Wicked Smile and you love it, you need to get this as well. If you don't have Wicked Smile, you still need to get this, but you also need to get Wicked Smile. So fantastic. Just another absolute classic melodic hard rock, melodic metal, just 80s. So we're on to the last four now, and they're all records. That's all my CDs. So the next one that was released, so we're in October. We've got 3 Octobers and a November to go. Was another one that I was quite excited about, Beast in Black. The Dark Connection. So this is their third album, Beast in Black's third album. Sorry, I'm trying to get the glare off it again. So yeah, they're a mixture of Greek, Finnish and Hungarian guys in this band. Really good, high quality, what I term as dance metal, because to me that's kind of what it's like. It's like an infusion of dance-styled compositions presented to you with the heavy metal sound, and it works very well, I have to say. Yeah, so this is Dark Connection, kind of again very futuristic kind of idea, theme, a bit like Orden Ogan's theme for their album this year. However, they sound completely different. Really good album, but for me, a little disappointing again. It wasn't, or isn't, certainly at the moment, it's not as good as the previous one, in my opinion. I'd prefer From Hell with Love. I think that's fabulous. This one has some really great tracks on it. I just wasn't as wowed as I was expecting to be. But yeah, still quite enjoyed it. Really good stuff, high quality, and as I say, Beast in Black have their own style. Dance metal is kind of what I call it. Kind of power metal, but their own dancey take on it all. And that was followed up by a band who I had discovered again a few years ago, Existence. Now these guys are from France, and this is their fourth release, Wolf Attack. Excellent album again, very much a band looking to recreate the classic, traditional, true heavy metal sound of days gone by, with a modern, production and all that stuff. So these guys, as I say, are from France, and an excellent, very good, classic, traditional, melodic metal album. Track 11 is a cover song. It's Gwendoline, French lyrics. It's originally done by the band H-Bomb from back in the 80s. So yes, but it's another excellent album. It is available on CD and vinyl. Highly recommended to check them out, guys. Then, second last, Running Wild, Blood on Blood. Another one I was excited about. I've been excited about this album since I heard it was coming out back in 2019, I think, or early 2020. Yeah, basically, it's kind of, it's classic Running Wild, but it's not like early Running Wild of back in the day, if that makes any sense. I'm getting dry here. It's kind of like Helloween in a way, in that I would say, in my opinion, this is probably one of the best that Running Wild have put out in recent years. With all the more recent stuff from the 2000s, this is one of the best. But like Helloween, it doesn't really compare or match up to the classic stuff from the 80s and early 90s. But again, things have changed again for this band as well. Rather than them being more power metal, speed metal, like they were, this is more kind of traditional heavy metal sounding, bit more melodic, slightly slower paced songs, but again equally catchy. Rock and Rolf, he just has these catchy guitar runs and catchy choruses and just melodies right, left and centre, which makes it thoroughly enjoyable. So, and as I say, I think it's one of their best releases in more recent times. Blood on Blood. And finally, released on the 19th of November, is the new album from Temperance, and it's Diamante. So Temperance are from Italy, and really talented man, female fronted, and I don't know if I've said this before, but I think at least one of the members from this band is also in Visions of Atlantis. They're kind of what I would describe as melodic symphonic metal, but not too heavy on the symphonic. But I would say they do have that element in there. Really interesting stuff. And again, I thoroughly enjoyed this album. I thought it was a terrific release. High quality, highly recommended if you are interested in this kind of stuff. Excellent band. So that's my 48th album. Sorry it's taken so long, guys, as usual. If I was to say what some of my favourites are, say like 5 or 6 of my favourites out of all these, it's a hard call because all 48 of them are in my collection basically because I like them. You know, well, I'm assuming I'm going to like to some extent the ones I haven't heard or haven't heard properly. You know, the new ones I haven't had a chance to listen to yet. But generally, everything I've just showed in these 2 videos, they're all here because I like them all. I can't really rank. I can't put them in an order from 48 to 1 and say, oh, that's better than that, but that's not as good as... I can't think that way in terms of rating the music. It would kind of ruin the experience for me. So that's why. But I would say 5 of my best picks from this year would be, and I'm not going to rake through because this is long enough as it is, Blazing Stones, Damnation, Nestor's Kids in a Ghost Town, Powerwolf's Call of the Wild, Crystal Vipers, The Cult, Eclipse, Wired. So that's 5. I'd maybe throw in Wicked Smile and Warrior Path as another couple of top ones. Just some of my top picks out of the year, but again, as I say, everything's here because I like it all. Fantastic stuff, and I hope you've enjoyed this fairly lengthy video. Apologies for that, but there's a lot to get through. And yeah, so I've still got I've got at least one. I need to check my piece of paper where I've got everything. One pre-order I'm still waiting on. It's been put back to this year, but I'm not going to go into them now. And there's a few out there that I know about that I haven't picked up, which I might do over the time. But anyway, so I'll go for now. Thank you very much for that, and appreciate you sticking with me and taking the time to watch all this, and I shall see you all in another video. Take care and bye for now.